Your heart is pounding. Your hands feel sweaty. Your voice? Already shaking, and you haven't even said a word yet. Sound familiar? You're standing in front of a crowd, notes in hand, but your brain is screaming, run. Let's stop pretending this is rare. Public speaking is one of the most common fears, even more than heights, flying, or snakes. But here's the twist: that fear? It's not a flaw. It's biology. And once you understand how to rewire your brain, you'll go from paralyzed to powerful, from anxious to absolutely on fire. Let's get into it. Brain emoji, the brain's fear response. Let me take you into the moment you're standing in front of a crowd. Maybe it's a boardroom. Maybe it's a wedding toast. Maybe it's the pitch you've rehearsed 100 times. Your palms go clammy. Your heart is racing. Your breath feels like it's caught somewhere in your throat. And just before you open your mouth, your brain whispers, "This is dangerous." But why? You're not facing a tiger. You're facing your coworkers, or friends, or potential clients. That's where neuroscience steps in. Your brain is still wired for survival. And at the center of that wiring? The amygdala, your personal alarm system. Its job is to keep you alive. And it's not good at context. It doesn't care if you're on stage or on safari, it sees all attention as threat. Cue the fight or flight response. Adrenaline floods your system. Muscles tighten. Your digestion slows down. You start to shake. Your voice trembles. Your brain enters a fog of what ifs. What if I mess up? What if they laugh? What if I forget everything? Now here's the thing, this isn't a character flaw. This is your biology in action. But just like a muscle, your brain can be trained. You can teach it that public speaking isn't a threat, it's an opportunity. A chance to be heard. To inspire. To lead. And that training starts right here. Repeat emoji, rewiring the brain for confidence. Think of your brain like a garden. If you constantly water fear, guess what grows? Anxiety, doubt, self-sabotage. But if you start nurturing focus, courage, and trust in yourself, you start planting seeds of confidence. So how do you do it? Let's start with breath. Because your breath is your anchor. It's the one tool that's always with you, and it's free. Try this. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. That's box breathing, and in 90 seconds, it sends a powerful signal to your nervous system. We are safe. Your heart slows down. Your brain comes back online. You reclaim the moment. Next, visualization. Close your eyes and see it, you walking onto the stage with confidence. The audience leaning in. You delivering your message clearly and calmly. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagined and real experiences, so let's make your mental rehearsal just as powerful as your vocal one. And here's a secret weapon: self-talk. Most people's inner dialogue before speaking sounds like this: don't mess up. Don't freeze. Don't look stupid. But what if your internal script said, I'm prepared. I have value. I'm here to serve. That's not fake positivity. That's mental conditioning. Because the way you talk to yourself is the way you show up in the world. Books emoji, the power of preparation. Let me tell you a secret. Most people don't fear public speaking. They fear being unprepared. They fear that moment when the words vanish from memory. When the mind blanks. When they can feel the crowd staring and they think, what now? But here's the truth, confidence isn't some mysterious gift. It's built, step by step, through intention and preparation. Let's break it down. 1. Know your material. Don't memorize a script. Own your message. Study it. Wrestle with it. Understand the heart of what you're saying so deeply, it flows from you like a story you've lived. Because when you understand your material, you're not just repeating lines, you're sharing truth. And audiences feel that. 2. Structure is your safety net. A well-structured talk is like a well-built house. Start with a powerful opening, a question, a story, a bold statement. Deliver a solid middle, 3 clear points, examples, value bombs. Finish with a memorable close, something that sticks, inspires, or calls to action. Structure isn't boring, it's liberating. It frees your brain to focus on delivery, because the roadmap is already there. 3. Practice out loud, not just in your head. Here's where most people go wrong. They write the speech, think about it a few times, and step on stage. But your brain processes spoken words differently than written ones. So stand up. Walk around. Say it like you're already on that stage. Record yourself. Watch the playback. Notice your tone, pacing, and pauses. Repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity builds calm. Remember, the goal isn't to sound rehearsed. It's to feel ready. _ handshake emoji, engaging with your audience. Let's zoom out for a second. Public speaking isn't about you. It's about them, your audience, your listeners, your partners in this shared experience. Your job isn't to perform. Your job is to connect. And that begins with eye contact. Not a quick scan of the room. I'm talking real, human-to-human connection. Lock eyes with one person. Deliver your message like you're just talking to them. Then move to another. Then another. When you do this, something shifts. You're no longer delivering a speech. You're having a conversation. And conversations need expression. So use your body. Use your hands. Use your face. Let them see your passion, your vulnerability, your truth. Remember, people won't just remember what you said, they'll remember how you made them feel. And nothing connects quite like a story. Tell them about the time you failed, the moment you doubted yourself, the lesson you had to learn the hard way. Because when you share real moments, you create real resonance. You become more than a speaker. You become relatable, trusted, unforgettable. _ repeat emoji, sustaining your confidence. Okay, you've stepped up. You've spoken. You've shared your voice. And maybe you crushed it. Or maybe your voice cracked, your hands trembled, and it didn't go exactly how you hoped. Now what? This is where most people freeze. They think confidence is supposed to be static. That once you've got it, it's always there. But here's the truth, confidence is a practice. A garden you water. A muscle you strengthen. And the more you speak, the stronger it grows. So start small. Offer to share an idea in a team meeting. Lead a toast at a family gathering. Join a local Toastmasters chapter, or even just record yourself speaking for 2 minutes a day. Because repetition builds rhythm. And rhythm creates comfort. And comfort? That's where your voice finds its home. But confidence isn't just built in practice, it's built in perspective. Bullseye emoji, when you stumble, don't shrink. Reflect. Learn. Adjust. Ask yourself, what went well? What can I improve? How did it feel? Because every talk, no matter the outcome, is a stepping stone. And celebrate the wins. Not just the standing ovations. Celebrate showing up. Celebrate trying something new. Celebrate being brave enough to be seen. 'Cause courage compounds. _ glowing star emoji, final takeaway and call to action. So here's the truth you might have needed to hear your whole life. You don't need to sound like a TED Talk speaker to be powerful. You don't need to be the loudest voice in the room to make an impact. You don't need to be fearless, you just need to be willing. Willing to grow. Willing to speak. Willing to rise, again and again. Because your voice holds stories that someone out there needs to hear. Not later. Not someday. Now. So let's rewire the fear. Let's build the muscle. Let's rewrite the script from what if I mess up? To what if I inspire someone today? You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to show up. And you already have. The next time your hands tremble, your heart races, and your brain screams run, pause. Breathe. Remember this moment. You're not about to fail. You're about to grow. Because speaking up, in a room, on a stage, in your life, is not about being fearless. It's about being free. Free to share your message. Free to connect. Free to be heard. So here's your next step, microphone emoji. Find one opportunity this week to speak. In front of 2 people, 10 people, or just into your phone. Say something that matters. Let your voice lead. And remember, your brain might panic, but your potential knows better. So let's rewire. Let's rise. Let's go. Rocket.